All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to you brothers all across the four corners, pushing this word out in sincerity and in faith. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kwadash, Barakatham to the hopeful and sincere elect. I'm going to do quick video here on Isaiah chapter 14. You know what I mean? Because a lot of you scoffers, right? A lot of you scoffers, I've been hearing a lot of shit talking lately as far as Israel not being the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Hey man, the word is out. You go on any website, man. You go on a website, you look in the comment section, they talking about Edomites, man. So at this point, hey, we're almost out of here. People really don't believe that, but hey, whatever. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So our oppressor, all right, is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, aka the devil that the Bible speaks of. We have other oppressors also, all right. We have the Moabites, which you so-called Chinese, Ammonites, you so-called Japanese, Elamites, you so-called East Indians, all right, Ishmaelites, you so-called, I guess that would be like a Middle Eastern, Arabs, you know what I mean? And Arab, the Hebrew word is Arab, which is mixed. So a lot of you guys are like just a mix of different things. Some of y'all are like part Hamite, you Hamites or you Africans. There are all sorts of mixes of quote unquote mixes of people. Because you can't be mixed. You are what your father is. But as far as the people, right? Everybody's been mixed up. You know what I mean? Everybody's been mixed up except for Israel. The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and you confusion of face brothers who look like heathens, right, are Israelites. If you were born an Israelite in your past life, you are an Israelite today. You can't be born an Edomite in your past life, and then you turn around and you are an Israelite today. That's not how the fuck it works. And these people changing up all the rules, that's why we got all these problems, man. It's like this. The only reason why the whole entire world knows about the Israelites is due to the internet, right? That's how this was a widespread thing. But to be completely honest, the reason why it truly spread was because of the oppressors. They constantly, when I first started seeing Israelite this, Israelite that, da 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 da, well, it was because of scoffers. All the scoffers saying, "Oh, did you hear? The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans claim that they're the true children of God." You know what I mean? Scoffers were the reason why I got into this thing so heavily, in a way, because I knew if these guys are coming up against this word, well, it's got to be true. You naturally come to that conclusion that a divine force, right, through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, is putting the spirit of obstinance on these people, which explains why they cannot see and they cannot hear. Scoffers is a really important aspect of being an Israelite man, because you have to know how to deal with a scoffer. That's why I'm reading Isaiah 14 right now. This is simply for the scoffers. This is for the heathens. This is for anybody outside of Israel. If you're not in the 12 tribes of Israel, If you're not a confusion of face, brother, you're done. It's nothing that you can do except for live your life. That's my best advice to a so-called Edomite. Hey, do what you want to do, because very soon, what I'm reading right here is going to take place. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow. Right? Because you getting up, you got to go to work, you serving Esau, right? And you got sorrow in your heart, because surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. You know, and the scriptures talk about that. And as you get more and more into your understanding, the more upset you get, you know? Because it's healthy to have a hatred towards your enemy. It's completely fine. In fact, it's welcome. And from thy fear, right? Because you wake up, you don't know what's going to happen. One day you got your job. Next day you don't got your job. One minute your electricity is on. Next thing you know, the electricity is cutting off. You know, you got, one day your taxes is this. Next thing you know, your taxes have increased to that. You know what I mean? It's an all-around fear. You walk outside, you got goddamn chemtrails burning up your lungs. You got needles in the streets. You know what I mean? It's prostitutes all over the place. You got potholes in the ground because the infrastructure here is so bad. Your fear basically drives you. You know, because you don't know what in the fuck is going to happen. So a man of the Lord is like, hey, I got to go to work. You know, I got to reach these people, man. I got to do what I got to do. Because that fear, the fear of not having anything is nothing compared to the fear you have about Shem Yahushua. Because truly, if he wanted to, the Lord can take anything you got, including your life. If you hear a GMS video, you're lucky. Because a lot of people didn't get the opportunity to. And like I said, I stumbled upon Great Millstone. Nobody, not one human being told me about Great Millstone. I came upon Great Millstone because in your Israelite search, you're constantly searching out who's the scoffers, who's the liars, who's the oppressors, you know what I mean? And through process of elimination, you come to the conclusion that the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone are the men of the Lord today. That's who you would consider the men of the Lord today. Finishing up verse 3. And from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. So we're in continual bondage all the way up until now. You get one off day and you feel great. A lot of these jakes, you get a couple off days and now you're like, oh, maybe I'm not in captivity. But you are, man, because you're forced to work, or inevitably you're going to lose your housing situation and die of starvation. It's not supposed to be like that. Israelite man is not even supposed to be working. Really, all these oppressors are supposed to be working for us. Yeah, what do we hear all day? Oh, Negroes don't like to work. Mexicans don't like to work. Mexicans are lazy. And can you believe that? Esau got the nerve to talk about Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are lazy, right? When all Esau does is sit on his ass and watch us do the work. It's apparent. I mean, and that's why his ass is going into slavery. And I don't want to hear nothing else about it, man. You so-called Edomites, y'all are done, man. Y'all are done, and there's nothing else that y'all can say because, hey, Great Millstone has all the breakdowns. Once you get that true understanding, you can go anywhere in the book and cut them up, man. You can cut any person up that is not under the vibration of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know what I mean? You can always cut it out. You can always rule out anything that is not in the vibration of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased, because people can't imagine that America is going to fall. It's really hard to think about. Unless you have a spiritual eye to discern what is going on, it's no way that you're going to know that America is falling. You know what I mean? But hell, even you Edomites know that America is crumbling, man. Infrastructure is terrible. Education system is damn near last. Our ability to recycle waste. We are the most wasteful country in the world when it comes to produce, food. It's also illegal here to feed the homeless in certain states. Hey, man, Esau's the damn devil, dude. Verse 5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. So all these wicked elites and all these rulers, heads of state, whatever the case is, man, all across the world, every single government entity per se, right? They're going to come to the realization that there is a power that has come to seek vengeance on this place. And it's going to be too late for them. Because a lot of people, when they see the chariots coming out of the sky and the sky starts to turn black, most of them are not going to know what's going on. But they will know that their golden age, that it's come to an end. That's one thing that they'll know when they look into the sky, that Babylon is finished. All right. This is verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. Yeah, because we never had no break. Shit, from the time we went into slavery all the way up until now, at the end of 2018, we have not had that perpetual foot taken off of our neck, so to speak. So-called Negro, Latino, and Native American has been continuously struck. You know, time and time again, man, they have completely made us docile. You know what I mean? It says, he that ruled the nations in anger, right? Because if you don't do what Esau say, he gonna send his military, right? You can ask Gaddafi. They ran up in Gaddafi's place, and they lit him up. You know, all because he was going against what they wanted. Saddam Hussein, they, oh, you already know what they did to that Ishmaelite. You know, they found him hiding under a rock, man. Esau still got him. I mean, he literally hid under a rock and they still killed him, you know. It says, it is persecuted and none hindereth. So we're being constantly persecuted and nobody's trying to help us. You got videos online of people, of so-called black men screaming help, getting beat up by 5-6 police officers. Then, when he dies of a collapsed lung, what do people say? Oh, we didn't want to get in the way. Oh, here's another one. Just to let the officers do their job. Oh, maybe if he put his hands behind his back, they wouldn't punch him. Right? Because nobody wants to hinder the power of Esau, man. But his power is coming to a close. You can see that. It's the end of the year and people are stressed out. They're depressed. They spent too much money on Christmas gifts. They don't have enough money for food. All right, everything has been taken away from Esau in these heathens, man. Verse 7: the whole earth is at rest. and ain't that something, man? Esau has to be a wicked MF to have the whole world rejoice him leaving. It's almost like when you got that one guy at work that everybody hates. And when he finally clocks out, everybody's like, yes. Now we don't have to work with this nigga for the rest of the shift. You know, you waiting for them to clock out and shit. That's what Esau is. Esau is like the most hated person on the planet now. Esau's getting exposed for being all sorts of wicked things, man. They've been exposing Esau freaking off on animals. I mean, they're really bringing it out, you know, and yet they don't want to hinder. They don't want to hinder anything. That's what they say. Oh, we didn't know. We didn't know that he was freaking off on animals because they didn't want to hinder anything. And you Edomites out there that want to keep everything hidden under wraps, it's getting exposed. Because that is the number one hider of secrets, man, is you Edomites. One guy get busted for something, They put it on the news for one day, then they just take it away. Why don't y'all put that same shit on the news like y'all do us? A so-called black man can rob a store on Monday, and on the news, they're still talking about it on Thursday night. Edomite can do all sorts of sick shit. They put it on the news for 30 seconds, and they take it off. All right? This is verse 7, or the rest of verse 7. And it's quiet. They break forth into singing. So at that moment in time, right, the heathens are just going to be rejoicing about the fact that they're not under the rule of Esau. But this singing, right, is going to come forth from the men of the Lord. We'll be saying, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakah Kodash Barakatham. And the singing will be heard all around the world, because at that point in time, the Lord is going to magnify the voices of the hopeful elect. Those 144,000 men at that point in time will sound like the biggest army in human history, because the Lord is going to magnify our voice. That's that singing, giving praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakah Kodash. This is verse 8. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller has come up against us. Right? So the cedars of Lebanon are like the apostles, the elders, men that have been in this truth for years and have established the rooting into the ground like a cedar, because a cedar tree is, first of all, it's one of the biggest trees on the planet, right? And it's strong. Its root system cannot be removed, right? So there's going to be fir trees also, trees that are not as deeply rooted, but rooted nonetheless, because a lot of brothers that get sealed up, a few of the hopeful elect are going to be people that just came in. Like when the Mark of the Beast is implemented and a lot of these other prophecies roll out, these guys are going to join last minute, and those are going to be some of the last people to be sealed up. Saying, since thou art laid down, no fellers come up against us. Verse 9, health from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. So there's all sorts of moves coming up to meet you. You know what I mean? It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So this is going to bring about a worldwide monumental change. You know what I mean? Because to rise up thrones and kings of nations, man, it has to be something significant. This is verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worms spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? So they're going to be asking them, how did y'all give this up? How did y'all lose? Because from this standpoint, from an Israelite man's standpoint, we know Esau's going down. But you average everyday Americans, you wouldn't even believe that America is going to suffer such a blow. Yeah, a lot of you Americans cry when the U.S. gets kicked out of a FIFA tournament. Yeah. So much less, death and destruction. What do you think that's going to bring upon these people? Your average Edomite freaks out over the smallest of things. His coffee being too hot. Him having tomatoes on his sandwich. He actually freaks out. Imagine what happens when all calamity breaks loose, man. Esau's going to be in the streets committing suicide. There's going to be people. There's going to be people literally, man. When the Lord shows himself through those angels, there are going to be people that are literally going to jump out of skyscrapers to avoid judgment. Just like 9/11, man. Those people would rather jump out of the building than face their judgment. It says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven." Right. So you got the Space Wars program. You got Jeff Bezos, Amazon, trying to go to Mars. You got SpaceX. You got Richard Branson through the Virgin Mobile initiative. Virgin Galactic. He's trying to sell seats in order to travel space. It's those goddamn thoughts right there. Slovakia. It's those goddamn thoughts right there that got Esau caught up. You really thought you were gonna go all the way into space? How stupid could Esau be, man? It says, "I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh." Right, so he's gonna try to exalt his throne above the stars of Yahweh B'Shem Yashai. It's not gonna happen. "I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north," and you can tell that he is a leader amongst amongst our congregation. You got Joel Osteen, right, fooling all the masses. And you can imagine how Joel Osteen feels after service. He probably gets onto his private jet and he just says in his head, stupid niggers. They gave me all the money, and look as I sit upon the mount of the congregation. You know what I mean? He probably believes that he's above God. And because of that, his pride and everything is going to be brought down low. Verse 14, "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." So you see, he's trying to be just like Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But that's not going to happen. 15, verse 15, "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And hell is the grave. You Edomites are going to die, and so are you heathens." Verse 16, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?" Because in the spirit world, currently right now, no Edomite is running anything. Salakia. No Edomite is running anything. So in the kingdom, obviously you have people that are wondering, how is this guy ruling the earth right now? It doesn't make any sense. That's why this passage is here. Verse 17, "That made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners." All right, so they never let us go home. They never let us go home, and that's why our Father is going to take us home. This is verse 18. "All the kings of the nations, even all of them." So it's not going to be like one country didn't have any problems. No, every single nation is going to bow to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Verse 19, "Thou art cast out of the grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet." If you've ever seen somebody get trampled, hey man, that's not a good sight. Verse 20, "Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land, and slain thy people." And every single land has been taken over by Esau. The conquistadors that conquered the land of Mexico and all that, those same conquistadors, their children are the owners of Mexico today. This place, Babylon, America, you already know how this place was taken over. Hundreds of millions of Native Americans slaughtered, thrust through with the sword. Continuing, "The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned." So you people are celebrated here today. You Christopher Columbuses, all right? You Thomas Jeffersons. But the seed of the evildoers is not known. They're not talking about Thomas Jefferson in the kingdom of heaven right now. Thomas Jefferson right now is a slave, serving hardcore bondage. and hardcore slavery. They don't even talk about the quote unquote great things that he's done. Right? He's a slave. Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I mean? Because all you damn Christians, all you Christians saying, oh, this person was a great Christian, and Thomas Jefferson was a great man, and George Washington was a great Christian, and God loves this country. Hey, all of y'all, Lord willing, every single one of y'all is going to get caught up, man. Lord's will. Lord's will. And I pray that I'm here to see it. Verse 21. I love this one. I love this one. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So y'all aren't going to own shit. Y'all aren't even going to own the clothes on y'all's back. You know what I mean? It says, verse 22, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, and son, and nephew, saith the Lord. You will not have one after that 1,000 years, right? Of when all of the Edomites are rounded up, that's when they're going to serve the 1,000-year bid. After every single Edomite is gathered together, right? They're going to collectively serve that 1,000 years of slavery. Then we will never hear of Edom again. Thus saith the Lord. Says, verse 23, I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it from the bosom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. What is the bosom of destruction, man? The bosom of destruction is going to be here in America. It's gonna be terrible out here, man. Verse 24, the Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand. So the entire purpose of Esau Edom was to be the example of a nation's rise to power and also fall to power, due to the fact that God hates Esau. 25. That I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth. So this was the whole entire reason why this earth was created, was for Esau, Edom, to be destroyed along with all you other nations, right? And for Israel to be risen up. That's the whole point of everything, of life, right? And this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts hath purposed, and who shall disannul it? So basically, what Isaiah was saying is, who's going to stop the Most High? Nobody, right? And it says, and his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? So when the Lord starts to do these things, and prophecy starts to take place, who's going to stop it from coming? Nobody. In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. Right? And the serpent's root is Esau. Verse 30. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety. And who's the poor? Poor is us, right? The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And we shall eat, right? We're going to eat upon the bread of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? Through this word. And it says, and the needy shall lie down in safety, because We won't need any more. We'll be completely fine. And I will kill thy root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. Oh, so I read that wrong. So the remnant is going to be slayed, man. All of Esau, none of Esau is going to remain, man. This is verse 31. Howl, O gate, cry, O city. So the Lord wants you to cry. Esau, Edom, whole Palestina art dissolved. For there shall come from the north a smoke, right? And what is that smoke going to be from? From those nuclear missiles, right? And that land in the north is here in America, aka Babylon, Mystery Babylon. But it's not a mystery no more. Not to the middle of the Lord, man. And it says, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. So, in these treacherous times, you don't have to worry about being alone. You're going to call on the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rekakwadash, and he's going to deliver you, Lord's will. Lord's will, you're of that number. This is the last verse, and I'll end the video. I said that this was going to be a short video, but, the Spirit just led me to read this whole chapter. I was only going to read about a fourth of it, but, hey, that's how it is. Verse 32, what shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord hath found in Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it, right? And the poor of his people is us, right? Israel. And the Lord found in Zion. And how did he do that? By creating the first Israelite man out of the ground, Adam, So when the Lord created Adam, he founded Zion, because Adam was the first Israelite man. So, hey, hopefully that was edifying. Esau, Edom is through. These heathen nations are through. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rekakwadash, and shalom to the hopeful elect.